Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be discussing Ripple and XRP. But of course, before we fully jump into this video, I just want to ask if you guys could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely. It takes 2 seconds and you guys have no idea how much it truly does help. Now, with all of that in mind, I am going to slow down and pace myself a little bit because I do know a lot of individuals have been saying, hey, man, I gotta slow your video down because I do talk very fast. It's just the way that I do talk. So I'm gonna slow it down a little bit so that you guys could pretty much, listen in and, pay attention more, easier as well. So, let's just jump in and let's talk about some stuff. So obviously, the market doesn't look too good for us having a weekly candle close today. Of course, things do change very fast in this market. But I am watching Bitcoin closely here because I am suspecting that we will have this sort of, drop in price to clear out these low demands. This goes all the way back to September. I suspect that we will probably have, possibly, could we retest 50K, get a rejection off of 50K, or will we just retest the 0.5 fib level as we do see back in pretty much September that we did, right here on September 19th. And then have that rejection to retest the lows and pretty much do a similar run that we did to the all-time high recently. It is very possible. As you guys do see, in terms of the RSI, the RSI has been in a strong decline since around, October 20th. Which is not good. This shows that Bitcoin is fairly weak still. Volume right now is also very weak. We need a lot more volume. We need a lot more RSI in terms of its strength. Right now it still looks fairly weak in terms of us going lower, especially for a weekly candle close. We should be having a lot more strength than we do see. So I suspect that we will see some more downward pressure. I don't think that alts will bleed too much. As you guys do know, Bitcoin dominance has been pretty much ranging lower here. Has a little bit of some juice left in it. I think that we will pretty much want, I should say, an impulse higher. But of course, right now, I don't think that, alts will take too big of a hit if, Bitcoin did drop. Where could we see, for an example, XRP? Well, first off, RSI looks a little bit different. Looks like a little bit of a stronger impulse upward. I think that we will probably just retest some major support at around 75 cents, somewhere around that point yet again, if we do get those drops. And of course, when we're talking about altcoins just in general, if we're talking more so about the Bitcoin price charts for those, they are a lot stronger in terms of RSI strength and impulses upward. And of course, the demand zone is met up here. This is pretty much where I want XRP back to in terms of the Bitcoin price charts. Now, why do I, expect a dropping point possibly tomorrow? It's just because the indices and how they closed on Friday. As you guys do see here, the Dow Jones was down about 532 points. I'm waiting for us to actually open tomorrow before I do, look to buy, or, if I even look for any sort of trading to go on. I'm waiting for the indices to actually open tomorrow, as I do think that they could open rough. Now, with all of that in mind, I'm not going to do, in-depth TA or anything like that. I just want to give you guys those quick insights, what I personally expect. Of course, I could be wrong. I'm just telling you guys what I personally see happening. Most likely a little bit of a drop, nothing too volatile. Like I said, in terms of Bitcoin, it wouldn't be too bad of a dropping point. I believe that was the Coinbase price chart. Yeah, so a 12% drop in price if we do test those lows, and we don't have to go that low. We could even test the top of this bar here at about like 42.5K, which is pretty much the double bottom bounce, which is totally fine with me, which is about an 8% drop from here. So I don't think that there is too much downside to expect. I think that things will pretty much bounce back. I just think that's going to range on a little bit more. I'm looking more so into January. I think January is a big key month, and of course the end of this month. So with all of that in mind, let's move on and let's talk about this SEC lawsuit. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about this SEC lawsuit. I'm tired of even talking about it. It's been one whole year in the making almost. I think that tomorrow is actually the 1-year anniversary of it. So yeah, I mean, things are, looking a little bit juicier, though, for Ripple. I do think that Ripple was pretty much well positioned in terms of a W for this SEC lawsuit. We do see here Hinman's possible violation of code of federal regulations, how it affects Ripple versus the SEC. And of course, for those who are not lawyers like myself, this is probably all sort of different language to you, in terms of the violation of Title V. Just so you guys know, Title V is pretty much just the idea of, should Hinman, have spoken about Ether or Bitcoin in terms of, clarity? Probably not, right? So let's actually talk about this and let's look more into this. The 2018 speech by Hinman has been a focus point. It's been a very important, focus point as well since the inception of this lawsuit. So when we're talking more so about, what John E. Deaton is saying, he says, I think Bill Hinman would have or could have, used some legal advice before signing the sworn declaration filed by the SEC. If his speech reflected only his personal opinion and was not guidance by the SEC, he is in violation of Title V. So, if this is not guidance by the SEC, Hinman should definitely be running for some, shelter. And of course, we do see a whistleblower alert. Sunday Saucy deserves money. We do see here, I think Bill Hinman, of course, that's the quote from there. So as you guys could insight there. Now we do see here, this is also a very important part here, but we have some, listen, the corruption is flowing deep into this SEC lawsuit, but check this out. Except as otherwise provided in this part, an employee shall not use or permit the use of his government position or title or any authorities associated with his public office in a manner that could reasonably be construed to imply that his agency or the government sanctions or endorses his personal activities or those of another, right? And of course, this is talking about his speech being protected by the deliberative process privilege or DPP. But overall, this is where things get juicy. So, as you pretty much all know about Empower Oversight and how they are suing the SEC. If you guys don't know, I made a video on this around the 13th of December. Of course, I think that this is actually fairly incredible to say the least. I think that a lot of the whistleblowers, I think that they might be insiders. I'm not saying that it's Hester Pierce or anything like that, but I do believe somebody from the SEC is probably being a whistleblower here. But look at this. Hinman collected $15 million while at the SEC. All right, he claims it was retirement benefits, but he unretired immediately, going back to Simpson Thatcher after leaving the SEC. Even if it was strictly retirement benefits, his speech benefited his firm and its clients. If the law has always been crystal clear, as Clayton and Gary Gensler have claimed, then there was no reason for Hinman to give the speech declaring Ether a non-security. The SEC claims his speech had nothing to do with the SEC guidance to the markets. Hinman might want to seek counsel. And of course, like I said, if this is his personal opinion, Hinman is probably going to get, investigators. Some sort of legal, issues are going to come up for Hinman. And of course, when we're talking about $15 million for a retirement benefit, come on, man. Like, that is just, in my opinion, there is some sort of, corruption going on here. And of course, when we're talking more so about Jay Clayton, we know with One River, One River pretty much benefited greatly from the lawsuit coming at such a random time, especially after Jay Clayton pretty much was going to be joining like 2 months later. But of course, all while this lawsuit is going on, which is the biggest lawsuit in history for the SEC, I should mind, but we also see here, right, while Ripple is being sued by Greg DeWitt from Ripple joins the U.S. Faster Payments Council as VP. By the way, just while Ripple is being sued here, sorry, there should have been, a little bit of a comma there, but it's all good. Craig DeWitt from Ripple is joining the U.S. Faster Payments. Writing is on the wall, know what you own. And then, of course, this is from the Bearable Bull here. And then, of course, when we're looking into this, right, proud to share, I've been selected as the Vice Chair U.S. Faster Payments Council for cross-border payments, investigating CBDCs and the best-in-class technologies to make them possible. Some big industry players, including Ripple, involved, more to come. And, of course, while all of this is happening, right, Ripple is making strides to be completely adopted within almost every area around the world. And of course, joining the Faster Payments Council in the US. This is just comical to say the least. All while this lawsuit's going on, know what you hold, understand what you hold, and know that the writing is definitely on the wall, as the Bearable Bull is saying. And of course, we do see here 718.3 million XRP shoveled by Ripple Labs and its major ODL platforms. We do see a close to 720 million XRP has been shifted by Ripple, Giant, Binance, and major ODL corridors. And of course, when we're talking about, on-demand liquidity, I suspect that this is just, the tip of the iceberg. I think that once these ODL corridors are really kind of ramping up and, ODL adoption is taking place, I think that some of these figures that we talk about, like hey, yeah, almost 1 billion XRP was moved. I think that we're going to see billions of XRP moved on a day-to-day basis, and we are seeing this ramping up pretty much greatly every single day. We even see this, right? Ripple helped shift 265 million XRP, sending 150 million coins in one go. Tell me any other asset that you could pretty much do this with and pay a fraction of a fee for this. I mean, this is crazy to say the least. The overall amount of crypto transferred equals about $221.4 million in fiat. This is pretty crazy. And yeah, I mean, listen, when we're talking about at a massive rate, when we're talking, ODL and stuff like that in terms of, on-demand liquidity payments and stuff, this is just like the tip of the iceberg, like I've said. And I suspect that there's going to be a lot more price movement or just movement in general for XRP as we do pretty much march forward on in time. XRP is 100% the standard. I've always said it. Now, we also see here IMF chief economist calls for global policy on cryptocurrency. Understand that right now is the best time to be in crypto, in my opinion. I think that with what's about to happen, I know that a lot of people say like this year's different, adoption's happening, and trust me, I'm not going to be that guy. I suspect that we still see a bear market before, the next major price or the next major adoption of crypto. But we are seeing a lot of major movements happening within the crypto space. We're seeing a ton of adoption. We're seeing a ton of talks about CBDCs, cross-border payments, how we get to those as well, because we are seeing also a huge spike in inflation and stuff. So first off, we do see here the chief economist of the International Monetary Fund, has called for the global policy to be put in place that will regulate cryptocurrency instead of banning it. Of course, they don't want to ban it. They understand that these are massive technologies. These are huge assets that could revolutionize the payment scene. In general, we talk about what's about to happen, right? We're talking more so about digitization, tokenization taking place. Crypto adoption is truly going to spike at some massive rates. I suspect that almost every retail individual that doesn't know about crypto will be utilizing crypto without even knowing it. And I am very excited for that day to come. Regulations are definitely very close to being put in place, and I do think that Ripple is going to be at the forefront for that. I even said yesterday in my video about it that Ripple themselves could provide regulatory clarity for this entire space. And then what is everybody going to say once that happens? Now, also real quick, this is going to be the last segment of this video, but I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about Finastra again. I know that I talked to you guys about it in a video from just the other day, but I do want to talk to you guys about it yet again because this is actually fairly large. So we do see here things are happening so fast. New Finastra brochure, RippleNet via Fusion Total Messaging allows existing bank systems to route payments efficiently, leveraging instant settlement to transact in seconds instead of days. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? I know a lot of people think that, oh, well, they're using RippleNet, so they're not using XRP. So real quick, let's go to ripple.com in 1 second. So when we're talking about these payment networks, so first off, we go to RippleNet, okay? And I know that they have the choice to use XRP or not, as we do see XRP labeled there, right there in front of our faces. And of course, they're talking more so about cross-border payments, on-demand liquidity, all that kind of stuff, right? It's fairly, it's pretty much straightforward, right? Now, what everybody thinks is that RippleNet is never going to be involved with XRP, but that's the problem. I think that everybody kind of looks at it as just like, well, RippleNet allows customers to utilize XRP if they want to, but that's where everybody goes wrong. Cross-border payments, okay? This is all cross-border payments. They need a bridge currency. They can't use a fiat on-ramp or anything like that. They would need to utilize XRP in that instance, okay? It's the same for on-demand liquidity, right? Even if you're looking at ODL, again, XRP is the bridge to everything else. And you even see that down here in this sort of, depiction of it, okay? You have the sender, the receiver, and XRP is the bridge to pretty much, transact those two fiats or the fiat currencies, right? So when we're talking about this, Fusion Total Messaging system that could, it's pretty much plug and play for banks. XRP is going to be the main front for this, okay? And I'm not going to download this and really kind of read more into it, but of course you guys do see, this is seconds instead of days. RippleNet itself is not going to provide the, seconds instead of days sort of idea here. XRP is going to provide that. So when we're talking about on-demand liquidity, we're even talking about RippleNet, right? All of these services have a direct connection to XRP. And I think that that's where everybody's, getting a little bit confused, because I've always seen the idea, well, they don't need to use XRP even with line of credit, which is another RippleNet service. By the way, these are all RippleNet services. Like here's the RippleNet services, text here as you guys do see. And of course, RippleNet is their network. Look at this, right? Here's line of credit. What are they using? Your financial institution can use XRP to complete instant, low-cost cross-border transfers. Again, I understand that you're seeing the idea of, well, they can use it. They don't have to use it. But that's the thing. Anything that's cross-border payments, if they want the low fees, if they want to utilize those, incredible statistics, they have to use XRP for it. And of course, when we're talking about SMEs, this is also an incredible use case. I think that this is going to provide so much value for XRP's price as well. Guys, do not focus on the little things. Focus on the big picture. This SEC lawsuit is such a small portion of what's happening with XRP. I think that this is also one massive catalyst event for XRP in general, and also even Ripple. I've talked about it multiple times. I don't need to tell you guys about what I think is going to happen once Ripple does gain a win with this lawsuit. I think that they're very close to that. But just think about the adoption that's going to take place. And the best part about this is that we are seeing, Craig DeWitt from Ripple joining the U.S. Faster Payments Council as VP. And this solidifies the future for what Ripple is becoming, but also it tells you the insights on what this lawsuit really means. It's all one big, massive stage, and everybody in the audience is watching it unfold at a rapid pace right now. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.